What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to our Red Bull Barcelona Let's Play here in FM20. It's episode number 5. Today, we're going to be taking on, I want to say Villarreal. I always get Villarreal and Valencia muddled up. This is very awkward. Who is it that we've got today? We can click down here. It's Villarreal. They're in 4th, so they're doing very, very well. You can see here the form of both sides is inconsistent, and that's kind of been the story since you were last here. It is now the 5th of December. We've had 5 of our Advent chocolates. We're well into the Christmas spirit of things. I mean, let's have a look, shall we, at what you've missed since you were last here. Of course, last time out, against Barcelona, what a result it was, that 2-2 home draw. You can see since then, we have played 9 matches. We started off with a 1-1 draw against Mallorca. That was an okay little result. I feel like after the Barcelona game, the most important thing following that was just to avoid defeats, get in the groove of things, just start picking up points, and we did that here. Haaland grabbed a goal, as you can see, in the 68th minute. The next game we had against Sevilla, a very good little performance, this one. 2 early goals. The first goal was by Yavi. I think it's Yavi or Ravi. I answers on a postcard. Spanish pronunciations, I'm still learning them, but he scored from the penalty spot. Santi Mina scoring not long afterwards. And while Mina's been like the big goal scorer, which has kind of caught me off guard, at 23 years old, I don't know how much more room he's got to improve, and whilst he's not the most impressive player from the physical kind of perspective, his mentals and also just his general technical ability purely as a striker in terms of first touch and finishing, he just works. He just has been doing work for us. He's our top goal scorer with 6 goals. I'm not sure if you can call that prolific, but yeah, he's been kind of the real pillar of the team. You can see following on from that, a 3-0 win against Real Valladolid. I want to say that's how you say it. Again, answers on a postcard. But yeah, a good little win this one. All the goals coming in the first half. The next game we had against Real Sociedad, a team who have been really underperforming. Denis Suarez with 2 goals to his name in this game, both coming before half-time. He has found himself playing back on the left wing. We'll talk about that in a second, because we've had a bit of an emergence, shall we say. A player who's come out from nowhere and kind of become our key man. And well, shall we introduce you to him? We'll find out about him soon enough. In our next game, we lost 4-1 against Getafe. This was a bit of a humiliation. We played a rotated team. This was a midweek game, and we had a game on the Sunday against our big rivals, Espanyol, which was really the main focus. So, with that in mind, I rotated things. I did not expect it to go as badly as it did against Getafe, but fortunately, having, I guess, thrown away a good opportunity to get points there by playing a rotated team, the rotated team made sense as we took on Espanyol. We beat them 4-1. And well, welcome Keko is all I'm going to say here. Keko the Gecko, as I've been nicknaming him. I couldn't come up with a more imaginative thing. He got the first goal for us in this game. This was a really good performance against our rivals. And, well, following on from us getting that early goal through Keko, Hugo Mayo got sent off in the 31st minute. We're playing our big rivals. We go a man down. We're 1-0 up. I'm thinking, oh, my word. Luckily, Lobotka scored a really nice finish on the volley into the bottom corner. Not long after that, Haaland grabbed a goal to make it 3-0. And I'm sat there thinking, well, imagine what this would be like if we had 11 men on the pitch. They scored from the penalty spot, and with 22 minutes left, I might have been panicking slightly. There was that little niggling kind of voice in the back of my mind that made me panic. However, Keko to the rescue again. Another finish, his second of the game. And yeah, he was the real difference maker. So far for us, he's got 6 assists and 3 goals, which is absolutely tremendous. The 27-year-old, a player who wasn't really initially in my first team plans, but he's quickly become kind of our best right winger, which is weird to see. You can see, if we look at his attributes, there's no yellow. He's just very good. Lots of 14s and 15s. And a few 13s in there as well. He just kind of is a bit of a jack of all trades. Most of the time we've been playing him out on the right as an inverted winger. And even though he's right-footed, it's not proven too troublesome. Before signing for us, you can see he's played for Malaga in the past. He's played for Valladolid in the past. He's never really taken off. And he's kind of just found himself at home here at us. And at 27 years old, he's a player with a few years left, I feel like, in the tank to show us what he's made of. Anyway, we did play 4 more games, or 3 more games rather. And this next one I don't really want to talk about, but I have to talk about it because it's the one terrible result in all of these. 2 goals up we were. Santi Mina, great little finish in the 3rd minute, and we get another through him. And after 30 minutes, you're thinking, we've been on a good little run. We've got 4 wins in our last 5. Cruise control, this is going to be fine. And suddenly, Darwin, well, he proves his evolution theory true. He scores a goal in the added time at the end of the first half, and I'm sat there thinking, it's not ideal. We'll be fine though. We can bounce back from that. We've had worse setbacks. 2 minutes into the second half, he scores another. Gets a brace, it's 2-2, and suddenly I'm in all panic stations. You can see by the stats in the bottom left, this game was very, very close, and in the end, the goal that was a difference maker was an absolute howler by Blanco in goal for us. I don't think it can be described any other way. He absolutely has to stop that effort from Aziz. It's from range, it's hit with power, yes, but he just didn't hold on to it. And it continues that lingering voice in the back of my head that says, goalkeeping position. Need to do something about that. We have got some good young goalkeepers though, so maybe it's just a little bit of patience, but I don't know, Blanco is not inspiring me with confidence. You can see here, he's not a bad player necessarily, but an average rating of 6.85 is not ideal. 4 clean sheets in 14 is, well, hardly stellar. And yeah, I mean, he looks very happy. I've never smiled that much watching him play. That's the sad truth of it all. The next game we had against Betis was a 0-0 draw. Bit of a boring one. I don't actually think there was a highlight in that game. It was the worst game of FM I've seen this year. And then in our most recent game, you can see Keko grabs a goal, as did Hadara, in a 2-1 win against Leganes. Really good result, this one. Hadara has been a bit hit and miss, but in recent times has started to pick up his form quite a lot, which is pleasing. You can see from his form in the last 20 matches. There was kind of a period of 8 games where I don't think he got above a 7. Since then, it's hardly been much improved, but in the last 4, it's got significantly better. So I feel like we've just got to persevere with him, show a bit of faith, and hopefully he will repay us with that. So off the back of all those results, you can see the table here. We currently sit in 9th, and it's kind of interesting because other teams have played more games than us. And if we just look the current situation. If we win this game against Villarreal, we could climb to as high as 5th, but you can just see how tightly packed the teams are in and amongst us. Of course, we beat Espanyol, we drew against Betis, we lost against Granada. We've played a lot of the teams in and around us now. And we need to start picking up some results. And this is the kind of game against Villarreal which is really going to make or break us, I feel like, for whether or not we are true European competitors this year. If we just look at the club, we have made 1 transfer out. I know, exciting stuff. The first player, and I'd be lying if I was to tell you that we're going to miss him. See what I did? That was good. He's a right back. Miguel Leon obviously plays in Mexico in real life, has long played in Spain, and so had Spanish nationality, but he hasn't played for us at right back. He wanted regular first team football, so I've said bye, and he's going to Spartak Moscow. We've got £4 million for him, which for a 31-year-old isn't too bad. If we just look at our finances, you can see we've got £7 million in the bank. I have been looking at right-backs who might be available at their end of their contract. A few of these we should be scouting here. You can see a few of these we've got eyes on. But we've got until the end of the month really to establish a second-choice right-back. It does leave us, if we can't find a replacement, a little bit short in that area of the pitch, because behind Mayo, the only real other player that we have who can play right-back is also our backup left-back. It's Nuno Tavares, who's left-footed. And I am one of those people who is obsessive about having full-backs play with their preferred foot on the outside. Maybe that's just me, maybe I'm weird, but that's how I like to approach things. So as good as Nuno is, and he can probably do a job for us fine, the reality is that behind him, we don't really have another full-back option on either side. So that's a little bit of a cause for concern. I talked about the formation change and the fact that Suarez has found himself back out on the left. That is due to just the fact that Lobotka and Hadara have started to put in really good performances. Lobotka has become a bit of a reformed being, I feel like, as the advanced playmaker down the middle. In recent games, he's played really, really well. You can see against Espanyol, he got a goal. Against Valladolid, he got a goal as well. And largely, he's been pretty reliable in that position, and because of that, and because of the emergence of him, Suarez has found himself back out on the left. In the centre of the midfield, Hadara has started to put in some really good performances, and in fact, if you look at the last 5 games here, you can just see a sea of green. A few players not so green, but we'll look beyond those. We're looking for the likes of Gedson, Fernandez, and Onguene, who recently signed a new contract, to step it up, and I feel like they can step it up. They're younger players who have had a few little injury scares, and I'm hoping now there's a degree of stability. You can see Aspas' injury is the only real one that's a super long-term thing to consider. Other than that, the rest of the team is pretty much free to be selected. So anyway, we're going to the Villarreal game today. I am going with Mina up front over Haaland, although they've both shown some okay form in the last few games. You can see in terms of general average ratings. It's been our front four who really have been the standout players for us. It's been this setup of Suarez, Lobotka and Keko that we've really leaned on, and those seen us have a bit of a resurgence in the league. You can see if we just look at past league position, we've started to climb just a little bit, and I think that's largely been born out of our front three kind of attacking midfielders. And should we get a good result here, albeit against the odds, it would be really, really kind of impressive and maybe just kick our season on a little bit. I think for today's game, we're going to go with the more conservative system. I have been electing to use this in certain games. Obviously, we used it against Barcelona previously. Against most teams, however, I have been playing the more attacking option. Hence, I think some of the free-flowing goals. But for this kind of game here, Villarreal, they're fourth for a reason. We've got to show them some respect. You can see their team here is pretty good. Lots of familiar names, the likes of Kazoya, Moreno, as a Liverpool fan. Maybe that's the weakness to exploit. Toto Akambe as well. I think he got Player of the Month recently in real life in La Liga. He's a very, very good player who we've got to be wary of. But let's see if we can kick on, shall we? I feel like this is the kind of game, as I said, that's really going to define what our aim is this year. If we lose here, suddenly you sat there thinking Europa League might be a little bit ambitious. If we can get a win here, it's going to propel us up the league quite significantly. There's kind of 5 or 6 teams really battling it out. For the European spots in the league this year. And this is the kind of game that we need to win if we want to be truly competing. It's worth noting with the league, Atleti, Real and Barca, they've run away at the top of the league. They're doing their own thing. So Villarreal are kind of, I think, the team with a target on their back. And if we want to do well this year, we need to get a win here. As Suarez whips it in, oh my gosh, it's cleared off the line. Keko with the header. I mean, I feel like he's got a point to prove, Keko. Can he prove that he can do it in the live com? You know, it's a different environment. It's a whole new level of pressure for any player in Football Manager, knowing that they've got the OBS spotlight recording their every move. I sometimes crumble under it myself. We'll have to see how he does out on the right-hand side. Anyway, Lobotka inside to Gedson. Now with Hadara, who dinks through Lobotka, who could be through here, should probably square it, doesn't square it, and I mean, he was never going to score from that angle, so I didn't even get excited remotely. Early on, though, really good performance so far. 57% possession. Of course, we are playing a cautious style of play here. We want to soak up a bit of pressure and then hit on the break, and we need to defend it. Did Blanco save that? If he did save it, that's incredible. Reguilon made an absolutely nuts goal line clearance as well. It's a team effort at the back, but that's concerning. Villarreal, for their lack of possession, having the first real golden opportunity of the game. They've got lots of players on bookings. They're playing a 4-4-2, and I feel like maybe our 4-2-3-1, it kind of fills the gaps, in their midfield. There's going to be space for our players to operate in. I want to believe that's why we're doing so well right now. 40 minutes gone, though, and the deadlock is still very much unbroken. Hadara's been the big stand-up player. He's on a 7.7. What has he done? Has he just been running the show from centre mid? It's not like he's got a goal or an assist. It's 0-0 at the break. They've had so many players get bookings. We will look to utilise that. I'm pleased with how things are going. Keep it up. In terms of tactics, I'm actually tempted to tell the players to dribble more and run at the defence. I want to try and bait out some more fouls if we can. When their defence has that many bookings, it feels like it's something you should really try and play into. Suarez hasn't had the best game out on the left, so we could maybe look to take him off. We'll give him a bit of time, though, in this second half, as we have a chance. It's with Hadara here, who can unleash them from range, but probably shouldn't from this position here. Where's he going? He's gone back to Lobotka, who should go right. Keko, show us that you can do it, Keko. Watch this. He's going to do something special, I believe. Hadara, give it to Keko and he'll score. Wide now with Mayo. Inside to Hadara. Inside to Lobotka, who hits it. And what an effort that is for his third goal of the season. Hadara gets the assist, which really caps off what's been a great performance so far. And, I mean, it's not a super great opportunity that we've created, but what it is a flash of quality from the team. It's not like we've ripped them apart defensively, but they were caught sitting very deep at the back. And, Stanislav was invited to shoot, and shoot he certainly did. And with that, we move up to 6th. We're finding our feet. We're finding our form, perhaps. Let's make a change here. I'm going to bring in Mendes. And I think I'm going to bring him on for Suarez, and then we're going to move Keko out onto the left. Now, of course, Mendes is left-footed, so him playing out on the right makes sense. Keko is right-footed, so maybe moving him out onto the left-hand side here, we'll see some different results. I'm also going to bring in Haaland, who has got some nice goals so far this year. This could be the kind of game to get him going. But yeah, so far, so good. Villarreal have looked very, very average here. The players are struggling a little bit with fitness, which makes you wonder if maybe they're just a little bit fatigued. I believe they're in the Champions League as well. They're kind of one of those new Champions League sides. I say new. What I mean is, they're not a team who super consistently play in the Champions League, and so their squad might just be feeling it a little bit. Anyway, I'm getting carried away here because it is only 1-0 and they've had the one clear-cut chance of the game. Cazorla now with it. We need to show them respect here. We need to defend well. They cross the ball across the pitch. It's dinked inside to Baco Blanco. I mean, I've slated him earlier. He's heard me slate him and he's pulled out that save. It's my favourite thing about FM20. And maybe this is just me. Goalkeepers make saves now. Like, good-looking saves. Like, I feel like they make a difference. Now, maybe it was just because of the animations, it's because of the replays that you get seen on extended and key highlights as Haaland picks up an injury. But I always felt like we don't have a striker. Do we have anyone who can play striker? Lobotka? We don't have anyone who can play striker. I think Mendes might be the best fit to play it. He'll just have to do it for us. But yeah, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like this year goalkeepers, they're just more exciting to look at. And I can feel the difference between different strikers. Anyway, this has been a top quality performance, especially by our fullbacks, which is really great to see. There is still 4 minutes left, so we need to remain switched on. I am desperately hoping that Haaland injury is not a long-term one. Because if it is, Santi Mina and Abel Ruiz become our only fit strikers in the team. And that's a little bit scary because Abel Ruiz has been absolutely rubbish, I think, for lack of a better word. Oh my gosh, please, it's a gift. It's a gift. Mendes, show us you're a striker. He's not a striker. He still scored it, though. It's his first of the season. Why did I pick the player who's not scored all year to play up front for us? I'm not sure, but it worked. So I'm going to claim that I'm genius. Or should that be I'm a genius? The irony of messing up that sentence is not lost on me. Mendes, lovely little finish. Let's be honest, wasn't the most convincing first effort, but the second one was pretty tasty. And I think we're going to get the win here. Now I'm just hoping Haaland, please don't be injured long term. Don't be a broken leg. Don't be a muscle injury. Just be a bruised shin or something like that. That would be lovely. Very pleased, boys. What a performance that is against Villarreal. We've not been flawless this year, especially recently. We've slipped up against Granada and Betis, who are two teams around us. So we really needed a win against one of these teams to help us out, and we've done that. And that, you can see, closes the gap on Valencia. We're currently in 6th, but it is unbelievably close. Betis in 10th, which is where we were predicted to finish, are 1 win behind us. And, well, we're quickly approaching the halfway point in the season as well. We have still got Atleti to play in a couple of games' time. I'm not going to do that today. Then we've got a winter break. So I think we'll be back in January. Sevilla, by the way, down in 18th. They are really struggling. Part of me is hoping they get relegated and we can just sign a load of their Spanish players. Does anyone else get that when they play Football Manager? You see one of the semi-good teams struggling and then you start wishing suffering upon them so that you can benefit. Maybe that's just me and I'm a bad human being. Haaland, what was your injury? That is what I'm concerned about. Please, FM gods, do not be a serious injury. I don't ask for a lot. I'm asking for this today. Haaland. Okay, it's 2-week injury. I can deal with that. That's a lot better than I was expecting. Hadara, absolutely top draw. Talked about the fact he stepped up recently. He's done it again today. I have noticed, by the way, you might have noticed this. Loads of our players are struggling in training. I say loads, it's just a few. A few players have benefited, but there's a lot more red arrows than I would like to see. And I'm not talking about the stunt flight team when I talk about red arrows. I mean, it's not good. Change that. I don't think players are unhappy with training. Only Lyon has not been doing well. I'm just going to criticise him. His head's gone. He's thinking about Moscow already. So yeah, next episode we should have a new right back. I'm hoping that we will, otherwise we could be in trouble. Hopefully we won't have too many more injuries to speak of. Eibar and Atleti, the last 2 games for this first half of the year. Next time we'll be back, we might come back for either the Sevilla or Sociedad game. we'll see how we're going, and well, hopefully, of course, I will see you guys for it. If you have enjoyed today's video, do drop a like on the video. It is super duper appreciated. And well, other than that, it is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.